Thanks for watching. This video is a little bit different, as you probably already can tell. It's more of a science project rather than entertainment. So the two chains that I compared against each other was a full skip square tooth ground chain. So these are the square cutting teeth, and there are two links between each cutter tooth, and the full comp round tooth chain. So this is a round tooth with only one link in between each tooth. This chain has 52 cutters on it, and this full skip chain only has 35 cutters. So our square tooth chain is typically 10 to 15% more efficient in cutting. Full comp round tooth chain on the hardwood cut roughly 15% quicker than our skip tooth square ground chain. Essentially, in the softwood, the round tooth full comp chain cut 2% faster than the full skip square ground tooth chain. I'd call it even in the softwood. And it's kind of interesting because something to note is that in hardwoods in the Midwest and the East Coast, I don't even know if I've heard of anyone using a square ground tooth. They all use round tooth. Whereas on the West Coast, in the softwood, the firs, the spruces, the redwood, everyone uses the square ground chain. Both of these were tested straight out of the box. So I know most pro cutters will actually sharpen their square ground chain out of the box. Another thing to note is that the square ground tooth stays sharper longer when cutting in softwoods than the round tooth does. But the round tooth does better in dirt and grit. It will stay sharper longer, as well as on this full comp chain, you have more teeth. So essentially you would assume that more cutters would stay sharper longer because there's less wear on each cutter. So it'd be interesting to also do a test running a half day on each chain and seeing which one does better at the end of the day compared to just out of the box. At a full comp round tooth chain would take a long time to sharpen because, like I mentioned earlier, you have 52 cutters on your round tooth chain versus on a skip tooth you only have 35 cutters. Another thing to note is the weight. The skip tooth chain is 2% lighter than the round tooth chain, which isn't a lot. However, when you're packing around when you're packing around a saw for 8 hours a day, it's just like an airplane. Any weight you can save is a lifesaver, quite literally. In fact, I'd argue makes it safer because you are less fatigued with lighter gear. So another reason to run a skip tooth chain over a round tooth chain.